Today I'm going to do a review on my favorite boombox, which is a Sharp GF9595. This is my absolute favorite boombox. This thing just sounds great. I think he has nice bass to it, and the tuner is, for all the Sharps I've tested, it's got the, at least in my opinion, it has the best tuner. You can get like a hell of a lot of stations. I've got the cassette running now. I'm just going to turn it up just for a second.
Spent my days a working, spent my nights awake. Ain't no turning back now.
Also, this unit here, this is all metal. Here, this is metal, and here, this is brushed metal here, and on the top is brushed metal too. Now beat that, right? And it has PLL tuning, phase lock loop tuning, which makes for really accurate and stable tuning in contrast to manual tubing. It still has the old style, I guess, piano key style controls for the cassette, but I don't see that as a drawback at all. I like it. It's got like the, I guess this must have been, when they made these, it must have been like a transition phase. It has two speakers in here. One is a 16cm woofer, which is about standard for Sharp's size, and has a little tweeter there. And I think your microphone's hidden back here. It's got a light, which I'm not sure whether this one's out or not, or this one here only works when the battery is actually, when it's run off of batteries or DC. I'm not yet certain. I'm going to have to check that out. Here it's got digital view, the digital audio display, VU meters. This is really nice. I think it's really nice looking too. Got LEDs here, show it's running off of the AC now. FM stereo, tuning when it's locked on. And over here you got your digital display. This is right here in the clock function. I still have to basically adjust that. Now here's the actual unit from the back. Over to the left here, where my hand is at, you actually have that is a tuner board, and this, I believe, is the preamp board. And here it's like combination power supply and output board. The output IC, I think is this one right here. Actually, seems like there's one used for both of the channels, as far as I can tell. I like the way this is all laid out, and everything is labeled here too. So for troubleshooting purposes, that is quite good. Here's a look into the battery compartment. This unit takes 10, I think it's 10D batteries if you're so inclined, and you have to have, I think it's it's actually 3 AA batteries for the microprocessor and the clock. These have to be in here, or else you're not going to be able to do very much of anything. In the back here, as far as your connections are concerned, you got your standard fare external microphone jacks. This is for your remote. Here's your phono inputs. Here's of course your ground, which connects to the turntable, and you got standard amp and dubbing jacks. These are DIN, and over here you got your beat cancel switch, which you actually only have to, I think, concern yourself with if you actually record from AM, if you're one of those dinosaurs. Here you can see me adjusting the tuner. which is like really pretty easy to use. You got presets here. You can either manually tune or you can have an auto tune. Of course, it's just for your clock adjust and timer, clock, and sleep. You've also got programmable search buttons here, and this works as follows. I gotta demonstrate this. So we put the unit in play, and then we hit the, say if I want the second song, I hit the, I turn on the volume here. So I hit the number 2 button till it beeps, and then I go ahead and hit the fast forward, which basically now I'm activating the auto program locate device, the APLD. So now we just wait a second again. Okay, it's taking its time. There it goes. This plastic cover here can also come off, or at least it should, for whatever reasons, if you want to, I guess, have that kind of a look to it. So the next section is the cassette section. It's got a, once you hit the, like a soft eject, which is pretty cool. It doesn't slam out like in some of the cheaper units. And you get your standard piano type of keys, counter, and it's also got the Sharp, the APLD, which means that you can actually search for a song. Say if you don't want to listen to the first song and you want to jump directly to the second song, it'll go ahead and what it does is find the empty space after the first song, that gap, say the gap between two songs, and then it basically stops right there and it plays from there. What you do is you put it into play like this, and then you could hit either the fast forward or reverse depending upon which way you want to go. And I'm going to go ahead and hit the fast forward, and it's going to look for the basically the beginning of the next selection or the end of the first selection. It's going to look for that space in between. So this should just take a couple seconds more, and then it should be, if it works, and then it should be coming to an end. Okay, waiting. There it goes. So this works without a problem, which is cool. Now looking at the top plate where all basically most of the controls are at, you got your loudness button, your volume controls. They got like sliders, one for the left and one for the right. And you got your bass and treble. You got your recording level. You can set the different levels for left and right. And that's if you have this switch here in the manual position. If you have it in the automatic position, the machine will actually do it for you. And moving over to the further to the right, we have the mixing switch. So you can mix between, say, mic and your source. Might be, say, you've got music from the radio or something like that. And further over, we have the editor. I think this is like an edit switch. Say if you have the unit in record mode and you're recording something, if you hit the edit switch, what'll happen is the tape will still keep turning and it'll still be recording, but there'll be like no signal. Say you could put like a gap between two different songs or whatever else you're doing. And here's your normal Chrome tape select, your SNRS. I think this is like a, it's kind of like a proprietary noise reduction scheme, kind of like Dolby. DX, you can increase the sensitivity. Your stereo mono, that's basically normal. Phono, and here you get your tape. Go over here. FM, the MW, that's AM long wave, and then you got your, these are your off and on controls, tape, auto, and on. Here's a unit actually from the left side. There's actually nothing on the other side, it's just a case. You have here, you got your, this is a fixture here for, if back in the day you used to have, you could have straps where you could lug these things around with, like if you get out into your local hood and you got your boombox going. This is for external speakers, phones. This is your, down here is the AC connection, and this is for, this is a DC input, say if you wanted to run it off of a car battery power. Of course I still got the back off, so I'm going to go ahead and put that on in a second. And here are the actual antennas. These are the original antennas. So I think if you get one of these, you want to make sure it's got these little black plastic bands here. That's a sign of it being original. You can get replacement antennas. If you're lucky, every once in a while somebody will sell an original replacement on eBay. But on the whole and in general, they're actually hard to find. You can get something that's pretty close to this, but it's not going to be exact. A lot of times it's not going to fit down right into the holder. It's either going to be too long or too short or something like that. So in conclusion, I highly recommend getting this boombox. The quality is just great for a boombox. I've got the antennas here partially extended. They go out like double that. It's a heavy boombox though. It weighs about, I think around right over 18 pounds, or about somewhere around 8.5 kilos. And it's also pretty large. I think it's, let me see, I've got the service manual here. Let me pick that up. It is about 21 5/16 inches wide, or 54 centimeters, which is a pretty good size. And it's 285 millimeters high, or 11 1/4 inches high, and 135 millimeters wide, thick, and that's 5 5/16. And supposedly it puts out on AC supply, no, on DC supply, 12 watts RMS. That is 6 watts per channel. But I am going to find that out in my next video, since I made it a habit of checking the power output of each of these boxes. That's supposed to be, the 6 watts per channel is supposed to be at 10% distortion. Now that is a hell of a lot of distortion. But I'll go ahead and see.